Hey guys, welcome to the Being Beautifully Honest channel and podcast. And if you are on the podcast platforms, please do subscribe. And if you are on YouTube, I'd appreciate you hitting that subscribe button. It's free and like DirecTV. And hit that like button while you're at it. It's like walking into the room and hitting that light switch. We just want to go ahead and brighten up the place. And let's get into this conversation/reality chat. I wanted to have this conversation, guys, because I honestly was annoyed. The term jealous and jealousy, it's a real thing. We get it, right? We know that there are people who have the characteristics of someone who is jealous of other people. We get that. But I just believe that the word jealous is just thrown around far too often. Like if someone has a critique of someone, the quick and easy thing to respond back to that person is to say, well, you're just jealous of them. And that's just not the case. It's not that everyone is jealous of someone just because they have a critique or a comment or something that may not be seen as worshiping, praising, liking, loving, or whatever, the person is doing. It's not like that all the time. But on the Real Housewives of Potomac, recently, the most recent episode, Gizelle made some comments to Mia, and we know that they're both messy. We know that Gizelle, that's all she does as a former first lady of the church. She likes to go around and stir up drama and mess, okay? And we know that Mia is definitely one who is extremely messy. And Wendy, I just believe that she is in a class of her own when it comes to the majority of the women on the show, even if you put her in comparison to Karen. I know a lot of people like to see Karen as the grande dame and she is high above everyone else because she is the oldest, but I don't believe that she is as refined as she has been able to become over these past several seasons of being on the show. And that's fine. That's fine. Wendy was who she was before she came on to the Real Housewives of Potomac. And I've always wondered why she wanted to be on the show, to be honest with you, because I don't get it. She is a very intelligent, bright woman. She has a beautiful family. She has a husband that truly loves and adores her, so much so that his family disowned him because he chose to be with her over who they wanted for him. That's like real love, right? And she is a professor. She speaks on political things. She's a political commentator. She is a doctor, she is well versed and well educated. Like, she is far above, in my opinion, all of these women on the show. That's just my opinion, right? But recently Gizelle had a conversation with Mia on the show. And she brings up to Mia that Wendy is jealous of Mia. Jealous of what? Okay, let's rewind. We already talked about jealousy and the word jealous and how people like to throw this around like a freaking basketball. Not everyone is jealous of everyone, even if this person that they're speaking of may seem to have it all going on or may have, in terms of wealth or things that they've accumulated, more than the other person. But listen, jealousy is a spirit, and jealousy, someone can be in a space where they seem to have it all and they can be a jealous person or experience this jealousy spirit because of what they see someone else either having or being confident in or whatever, and they may not have as much in terms of materials or monetary wealth as that other person have, because jealousy really is a spirit. But do I see Wendy having the jealous spirit against Mia? I absolutely do not. I do not see that at all. And I'm going to tell you where I feel like that comes from in a moment. But here's the thing. Wendy, like we said, she is an accomplished woman. She is well versed. She's well educated. She has a beautiful family. In all honesty, she's got it going on. She's beautiful. her husband loves her, has eyes only for her. That's a real thing. Mia, she is extremely insecure. And I'm not saying that people who have plastic surgery procedures are insecure, but there are a lot of people who have a lot of insecurities and they do a lot of those things. And she happens to fall, in my opinion, in the category of one who is extremely insecure and who has done a lot of things to their body and all of those different things like that because they have the insecurities. Now, I will never make fun of her face because I do believe the first season that she was on, she made mention of how she was involved in some sort of either cooking accident or something like that because her parents were on drugs when she was little and it caused some burns to her body. So I would never make fun of her for that. I won't. But she goes around flaunting her body. She tells everyone the things that she has had done to her body. She brags about the fact that she got with a married man who she's still with, her current husband, who was much older than her as well. And she says that she has no problems with saying that she slept with a married man, which he was when she got with him, and now she's with him. And everything that she has is because of the man that she is with right now. And more specifically, I would say everything that she has is because of the family of the man that she is with right now. Because if you've seen the stories about the joint chiropractic franchise locations that they have been operating and how the family took these things back, and so they've had to downgrade, downsize, they took them off of the business accounts and the payroll was slashed and all of these different things that happened. She clearly was not in the position that she tried to make herself appear to be in to the other ladies when she was on the show for her first season. She was bragging about she's a boss and she doesn't have to do this and she doesn't have to do that. She makes this much per year and all this other stuff. And I've talked about this before on my other platform when it comes to the word boss, because I actually am a boss, literal. I really am an employer. I employ people. That is actually the definition of a boss. But so many people use that word in a negative way. There's a negative connotation to it. So I don't even walk around calling myself a boss, even though I literally am. But most bosses, like she proclaimed to be, they don't go around bragging about what they've accomplished, bragging about how much money they're making. They don't do that. I don't do that. I don't. And so when you are really prideful in that way, life has a real interesting way of humbling you. And I believe that somehow, some way, life is trying to humble her. I don't know if it's working yet, but we shall see as time goes on. But for Gizelle to tell Mia that Wendy is jealous of her, jealous of what? So here's my theory on that. And I hate to go back to the colorism issue, but in my opinion, that's where I feel that stems from. If you've ever had any experience with the colorism thing, where someone who is of a lighter skin tone, they don't have as much melanin in their skin as another person, and people just assume that if you are of a lighter skin tone, then life is just great for you. You're just already perceived as beautiful just because you have a lighter skin tone. But if we want to do this, if that's where Gizelle wants to go, and she wants to put Wendy next to Mia, if we really want to do that, Wendy looks 1,000 times better than Mia, okay? I'm sorry. And this isn't talking about her burns. I'm just being honest. Mia looks overdone when it comes to the plastic surgery, okay? She's got I'm sorry. She said she's had everything done, so that's why I'm saying this, because I would never speak negatively or make fun of anyone that has bigger lips, but she did that to herself on purpose. Okay? She wasn't born with those. She looks ridiculous. Wendy, she admitted to the work that she had done after having her multiple children. More power to you. Do it. She did it ethically. She did it naturally. She did it in a way where it didn't cause any injury or harm to her, and she looks natural. And honestly, if we didn't know who she was before that, and and just saw her, no one would even be able to tell that she had anything done. She looks beautiful. She really does. She has a darker skin tone, which is also very beautiful. There are some people that are very superficial, like Gizelle, that would try to make it seem like just because Mia has a lighter skin complexion that Wendy is jealous of her. That's the only thing that I can think of when it comes to Gizelle making an asinine comment like that, to say that Wendy, of all people, is jealous of Mia. Because listen, we've seen Wendy on the past couple of seasons just trying to figure out if there's some other things that she wants to do besides being a professor, besides doing the political commentary, which is, things that she still enjoys doing. But we've seen that she comes from a culture and a family where they pride themselves in education and also pretty much doing as they're told, even as adults. And when she had the discussion and conversation with her mom in the first season that she was on, and just telling her mom she doesn't really sure if this is what she wants to continue doing, her mom was like, you absolutely need to continue doing that. Like, she didn't encourage her to pursue her dreams or to maybe do a side hustle and see how it goes and figure out how it works for you, make the most out of this platform that you have been granted the opportunity to be on and see if it works out for you. No, her mom was like, no, you need to still be a professor, be unhappy, go to work, teach the kids. Well, not kids per se, because they're in college. She's a college professor, but you know what I mean. And who cares about how you feel? This is about making the family happy. And that's got to be a miserable place to be in. So I don't fault Wendy for utilizing this platform to try to seek out other opportunities. So she started her home essentials line, and there are other things that she wants to do. And she was considering doing a Nigerian lounge. That was the conversation that she had with Peter. So I know Gizelle is not trying to make it seem like Wendy is jealous of Mia because Mia and her husband's family open up all of these joint chiropractic locations, when in all honesty, they didn't do that themselves. They didn't. And Gizelle trying to pit people up against each other. Now, I did see where Wendy and Mia had the conversation, and Mia was being fake and Wendy, being the bigger person, was accepting it. I was like, Wendy, don't fall for it. And I think in real time now, they still are not really friends, but just to see that fake moment on the show, I just was really like, really? Wendy, what are you doing? And the scenes for the upcoming episode for next week looks really crazy. I'm not even going to go into all of that because that was just a bit much. If you saw the episode and you saw the preview for the upcoming episode, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. I'm not even going into that, but Wendy should never let her guard down with these women at all. But for Gizelle to say that Wendy is jealous of Mia, and Mia not having the sense that God gave her, actually believes that, she's as nutty as a fruitcake herself. But I don't know, guys. I really wanted to talk about that because when I heard that she told Mia that Wendy is jealous of her, I said, you have got to be kidding me right now, because that is absolutely insane. Wendy, in comparison to Mia, Wendy is up here and Mia is down there. Nothing to be jealous of whatsoever. And Wendy was right at first when she did speak to Mia before they had the conversation, and she was, just letting Mia know, like, you envy me. And that is true. If anyone is envying anyone in those two parties, it is vice versa. It is Mia envying Wendy. 100%. Period. So guys, you let me know your thoughts about all of this in the comment section. Thank you so much for liking and subscribing. So until the next time, this is Beth, and I'm just being beautifully honest.